Prohibition and gangsters. Gangsters originated due to the illegalization of selling alcohol. It made them able to sell alcohol for a lot more than it was originally worth. To keep up their reputation and make themselves seem more intimidating, they used violence and money. Here's a picture of Al Capone.
He is one of the greatest American gangsters from the Prohibition era. And his real name is Alphonsus Capone. And he was dropped out of school in 6th grade. And he joined local gangs and worked fast money jobs. And Capone made $60 million a year based on the illegal sale of the alcohol. And he made another $45 million a year from the sale of drugs and prostitution rings. And Capone bribed police and the government. Eventually the law caught up to him and he was sentenced to 11 years in jail. And he retired to his South Florida mansion.
This newspaper headline reads, "Jury convicts Capone." Al Capone gained $60 million just selling alcohol. He lived in Chicago and robbed the police and even politicians. He symbolized the collapse of law and order in the United States. The Volstead Act was passed in 1919. The Volstead Act didn't allow the manufacturing or selling of alcohol. It backed up and gave enforcement to the 18th Amendment. It was named after the Minnesota Republican Andrew Volstead. The Volstead Act promoted the bill and prohibition. It was vetoed by President Woodrow Wilson, but Congress voted to override the veto. The 18th Amendment. The prohibition of alcohol originated from the temperance movement.
Effectively establishing the prohibition of alcoholic beverages in the United States by declaring illegal the production, transport, and sale of alcohol, though not the consumption of private possessions. The police courts and prisons were overwhelmed with new cases. Organized crime increased in power. Corruption extended among law enforcement officials. The amendment was repealed in 1933 by ratification of the 21st Amendment, the only instance of United States history that a Constitution amendment was repealed in its entirety. It's also called a blind pig or blind tiger. It's an establishment that illegally sells alcoholic beverages. A famous speakeasy was the 21 Cube in New York. The poor quality bootleg liquor sold in speakeasies was responsible for a shift away from 19th century classic cocktails. People began to enjoy the raw taste of the liquor. Even so, new cocktails were created aimed to the mask taste of rough moonshine. And some of them were operated by people who were part of organized crime. They came into prominence in the United States during the Prohibition era. Speakeasies largely disappeared after the Prohibition was ended in 1933.